Hello and welcome to another edition of Citrus Business Network. I'm your host, K.C. Doherty, representative of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I'm with Bud and Liz Koehlinger with Legal Shield. How are you guys doing today?
Doing fine.
Very well.
Now, Legal Shield, from what I'm told, is an organization that offers a voice to the younger, to the small person on there, to kind of give you a voice if somebody's doing you wrong. Tell us a little more about Legal Shield.
Well, Legal Shield was started 40 years ago by a school teacher turned insurance salesman. And he was in an accident, and the woman who was at fault sued him, of all things. And he almost went bankrupt trying to get out of the predicament. So he looked around for a legal insurance. There's legal insurance in Europe, but there wasn't any in the United States. So he started the company. It was known as Prepaid Legal at that time. And, pardon me, we've been with the company as associates for over 14 years. And Liz and I work the business together. But what we do is we cover the family and businesses, two different plans, also truck drivers and various people. But for a very economical cost, the family or the business has their own attorney. We have these attorneys, for instance, the ones that we use in Central and North Florida are in Orlando. And it's one of the largest firms over there and one of the most highly regarded firms in the state of Florida. We have another one down in Plantation to take care of the south part of Florida. Go ahead.
So from what I understand, I read a little bit about it before, then there's like 101 different things that Legal Shield covers.
Oh, more than that.
When I was talking to you guys off camera before, you said pick a situation, and it was looked on the pamphlet, and Legal Shield covered it.
That's right.
So, and the cost range is very economical. I think that thinking of outside the box, thinking it was a little more pricey than what it was, but from what I understand, you can cover you, your spouse, your children up to the age if they go into college. Some plans as low as less than $30 a month.
Oh yes, much less.
It also offers you a free living will. Mm-hmm. I know it's like a $350 value if anybody's ever consulted an attorney. How big is the organization of attorneys, and what kind of span do you have if you run into a situation?
Attorneys are available in every state except Alaska.
Wow.
And they're set attorney firms. You don't have to find your own attorney. We give you an 800 number. You call that number, and the intake person will ask you what your problem is and have an attorney call you back within a few hours.
Okay, and do I understand that they also will look over any legal documents you have?
Oh, yeah.
And this is also a free service?
Absolutely.
Now,
actually, excuse me, about 90% of what our attorneys do, there's no more cost than what you pay on a monthly basis.
And you also have a business plan?
Yes.
Yes.
So what exactly does the business plan cover? How would I use that, Liz?
It not only covers all of the legal things that a business would need it for, in going over documents, getting back money for bad checks, collections, anything that you would use an attorney or legal service for. They also have a service where if you have a question about your advertising, if you're spending the right amount of your budget on advertising, or if you want to know about managing rental properties, you can send in an email, and within 48 hours, you will have back a consultant's, a top national consultant's answer on exactly what you should be doing. He will send you footnotes on other things that you can look up to verify it, and that answer will have been gone over by 3 other consultants before you get it. So it's a terrific service for business.
Now, I know that we could almost name anything like we did off camera earlier to cover. What doesn't Legal Shield cover?
Nothing.
Nothing.
If it's getting into you suing somebody else, taking an aggressive action, something that's a little off of the plan, well, for instance, DUI or adoption, that is still covered. But with that, instead of it being part of the plan, you get at least a 25% discount over the attorney's usual fees. So it's a great savings in any respect.
So for the low cost that you get monthly on there, you're covered pretty much in every state except for Alaska, as you're talking about.
Right.
So not that will get you out of a ticket, but I think it gives you representation.
Yes.
Gives you, yes. I unfortunately have had representation in court for a traffic infraction. And once it didn't cost me anything, the other time just court costs. And well, naturally that's a nice way to go.
And
Well,
no points.
Yeah, no points on the license.
my daughter Ashley is in college, and she's 21, and it would still cover her while she's in school.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
up to the age of 23 in college.
So, and she probably drives a little bit like I did when I was younger. So that's a good plan to have on there. And I know on the business plan it does help with collections on there. I also heard a testimony about somebody with the legal, prepaid legal, Legal Shield. It used to be formerly
Yes.
prepaid
Yeah.
legal.
That's right.
That they got a traffic ticket in 2 states. So their representative in both states in there, not that it gets you out of the ticket, but he definitely got a lower fee on one and then no ticket in the other one. And again, not that it gets you out, but it's definitely nice to have some representation there.
It sure is.
You also have something that they offer as well. Is it identity theft?
Yes.
Tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, identity theft, of course, is one of the fastest growing crimes in the country, and it's not going to quit. It's getting worse all the time. Got a notice from Senator Bill Nelson about the IRS issuing $1 million in tax refunds to an address in Belle Glade, where fraudsters filed 741 tax returns.
Oh my gosh.
And there are just numerous reports of this where people are getting money back. They're stealing the Social Security numbers of children also. And they don't know, the kids don't know about it until they're 18 and they want to go buy a car. And they can't get credit because they have bad credit because their identity was stolen.
So what would you do?
So actually what we do about it, if the identity is stolen, we send an investigator out to restore the identity, unlike the other people who tell you how to do
Perfect.
it.
Well, that is awesome. I know that my wife's had identity theft in the past, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. Bud and Liz Koehlinger with Legal Shield. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Citrus Business Network today. I'm here with Gail Sotrines with Sotrines Travel.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you.
We are both a member of the Citrus Business Network over in Beverly Hills that meets at C's Barbecue. And we're here to talk about Sotrines Travel today. How did Sotrines Travel come into existence?
Well, it's an interesting story. I was a teacher for 33 years, 11 of them in Citrus County. And I was getting to that age where everyone starts making their bucket list and thinking about, well, the what if this and what if that. And so I began thinking, do I want to always be a teacher? You know, I'd done it for 33 years. I'd had a wonderful career with it. And I thought, well, maybe there's something else I want to do. So I spent about a year thinking about it and came up with, it would be great to work from home. It would be great to be just independent and more flexible with my schedule. So I, thought about it and talked to my husband, who's been on this whole journey with me. And he said, it has to involve organization and details because that's you. So I said, okay. So I got thinking about it and researching it and finally found the one job that I thought would be good, I'd be good at, and that would meet the qualifications. And that was to be an independent contractor with a host travel agency. So I left my career of 33 years in 2008 and retired and started Sotrines Travel then.
Now, I personally used you through the company. I had a project for you. In a weird part of the year, it was in between Christmas and New Year's, and my boss said, find me snow, and I went to you, and they had a wonderful trip that you set them up with. The package was so detailed, you made me look like a hero, and I appreciate that. Why did you choose to travel?
Well, every trip I've ever taken, I've enjoyed. I've always come back with experiences or memories, and it didn't matter whether it was a short trip or a long trip or anything exotic. I really believe that people need to take a break every now and then and renew the body and the spirit and go out there and experience life. And so it doesn't matter if it's a business trip or a leisure trip, there's always something that should come back to you that you bring back from the trip. And travel comes in all shapes and sizes. You can just do a quick weekend at a beach, which we're seeing on the screen right now, or you could take an African safari. And no matter what the trip is, you should be able to come back and say, I feel good. I've renewed my body and soul, and I'm ready to move on now. And so I have a passion for that and experiencing life, and so I decided I'd make a career of it.
What would people be surprised to know about using your services?
First and foremost, it does not cost more to use a travel agent than if you do it yourself. When companies price out the cost for a trip, they include in that price a commission. So if you use a travel agent, then the company pays that travel agent the commission. If you do it yourself, they just keep the money.
So when I think I'm getting a good deal, or my wife or somebody, while we're searching the internet and getting the same deal, you're getting, they're just not paying out a commission.
Absolutely.
So
they're keeping it.
You do all that work for us and what you did for them, and it cost me no more.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with technology the way it is today, if you go online and try to do something, I know because I do that for my clients, it can take hours. I mean, you could spend literally 5-6 hours looking at hotel or this package or this cruise, and why do that? Why put yourself through all that if you can just call me and say, I need a trip, this is what I'd like, would you do it for me? It's not going to cost you any more, and you're getting my expertise, my knowledge, my personal service, and you're not getting a headache from looking at the internet all that time. And another myth that people have with travel agents is that all we do is flights and hotels. And that's not true. Yes, we can do that, but I can do any kind of travel for you. Travel isn't just starting a trip and ending it, it's everything in between. I can do transfers, I can do pre and post hotel stays for a cruise. If you want to go see where your grandmother was born in that little European town, I can customize that and make a unique experience for you. So it doesn't have to be something that you can just look up on the internet. I can go and create a trip. And my menu of things includes just about everything. There's rail trips, there's obviously cruises, not just a hotel stay, but maybe a flight, hotel, rental car, some transfers. I've done several honeymoons and anniversary celebrations, bus trips, all-inclusive resorts, and even selling travel insurance, which is extremely important in today's world.
Well, I can say without doubt and testify to it, even when I went to Amelia Island with my family, we had to look for nothing. We knew where the restaurants were, we knew where entertainment was on there, and I would tell people that's going to use your services, the consultation you offer when somebody gets to meet you, you kind of put in perspective what they're looking for, what they do, and the package that you send is just second to none in my opinion, and I think it's phenomenal.
Thank you.
So,
that's one of the things I pride myself on is some personal attention and making sure that my clients get what they want for value and also for experience.
I think just part of your personality above and beyond is so detailed on there that there was just, you've made me look like a hero a couple of times, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
Now you're involved